So how do you, having said all this about how digital video is changing as quickly as it is and how it's facilitating filmmakers in one way, how do you think Digi60 fits into filmmaking in general?
It's evolution. I mean, you're going to see this medium and this sort of technology being used more and more, but there are a lot of people in the film community who can't, won't, completely refuse to embrace it. And that's okay. Because I think that if you're going to tell a story, you should tell it, the way you want to tell it, right? And if that's, on a an old Super 8, fine, shoot it that way. If that's what is going to catch your heart and put your effort into it, then you should do that. But I mean, cutting out an entire medium just because it's new and scary. I mean, cavemen had to come out and work with fire eventually, right? So let's Digi60's role, I think, is a great spot for people to go, you know what? I have a story inside me. Even when, like, you look at the open competition, somebody like the lawyer or the baker or whatever who goes, I'd really like to tell a love story or something. Shoot it. Just get out there and shoot it. Get the story out of yourself, because nothing's worse than having something rattle around and you can't get it out.
For me, it's like playing catch-up. It's a film where you're playing catch-up. I can find out, but I don't know when I'm going to shoot my next movie. I shot my last three films on the Red, and so to go back and shoot with no budget, and how good you can make something look now with no money. Something like Digi60 allows me to see what other filmmakers are doing, because I'm never going to be able to pick up something and make it look as good as some people. Some of these filmmakers involved are really up to speed on all the new technologies. Not like myself. So it's nice to see other filmmakers and what kind of technologies that you're using, and give me that kick in the pants to pick up that sort of equipment and do. And it was funny talking about it and looking at three very different cameras.
For sure.
But I really want to shoot with something like this, because it reminds me of shooting with film, because the sound, I guess there's no microphones on any of these cameras. It's
Sounds
all separately. But yeah, you do your sound separately, and that's what filmmaking was. And it reminds me of the Bolex. It reminds me of stuff that I love about the filmmaking process as opposed to the video making process.
So there's a familiarity you're looking for.
That was what's attractive about this.
And that
even
alone,
more the Red, I think I'd wanted to shoot with this more than the Red right now.
And that familiarity kind of helps you going into a project as a filmmaker.
Definitely. Like, it feels like going home.
Well, I haven't shot with both. I gotta say, the SLRs these days, the digital SLRs that are out there, I have to say I like the freedom of it. And you can buy these great little rigs that are very inexpensive, like the Scorpion rigs for steady cams.
Yeah.
You can pull off shots that no home sort of video person generally could,
Well, I think what's also attractive about it too is that I like the move, and the Red really slows you down. It's a big
heavy
camera.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, and it's like you want to get as many setups in a day as you can. It just makes your film bigger, and the Red kind of felt that a lot of times in making the film smaller. I was losing shots. I was like crossing off stuff in my
The other
shot
thing
list.
with something like this, though, you can actually pull off a lot more guerrilla, because if you're walking around with one of these things, people are going to go, "Oh, you're making a movie,
Right.
And you got the crowd, your sort of impromptu crowd scene that you decided to shoot, under sort of surreptitious means. You walk around with one of those, people go, "Oh, they're just taking pictures."
I bet you
You know what I mean?
Jackass 4 is going to be amazing. They shoot it on something like that, in terms of what you're saying.
Well, you can pull off a lot more.
It's nice, though, attracting a crowd. It's
Yeah.
nice to feel important. These guys are
Sometimes.
making a movie. Let's see what they're doing. Because I'm like that. I'm a bit of a star fucker. I like going when I'm in Toronto or wherever.
You
I like
did it!
noticing movie cameras. Well, you inspired me.
Okay.